Welcome. Thank you all so much for being here with me today. I am very grateful for you. I hope everyone had an amazing week. We are here for our weekly group healing experience. And I'm so excited about our topic today because we're going to be talking about what I think is one of the most ninja things that you can incorporate into your life, and that is gratitude. So come in, pull up a chair. We're going to do some talking, but as always, we're going to do some moving. So leave yourself about this much space around you to move in towards the end. We're going to start by talking about exactly what do we mean when we say gratitude. And then I want to share with you why you might want to incorporate a gratitude practice into your life, right? What do we get out of it? Acknowledging that things are challenging in the world today. We're going to then talk about how do we find things to be grateful for. And because my goal is always for you to have a healing experience and to leave here with real practical things that you can use to make your life better, we're going to then do some gratitude practices together. So come on in. Again, thank you all for being here. Pull up a chair and we're going to get started. Deep breaths in. In fact, why don't we all take a nice deep cleansing breath just so that we can settle into the moment, settle into the space. Okay, wherever you are, sitting or standing, let's pull fresh, clean, clear air in through our noses, all the way down through our lungs, expanding our bellies out. And then pushing with our bellies, the air comes in and up, back out through the lungs, up the throat and out the mouth. Let's do it again. In and out. In and out. And if you closed your eyes, allow them to come back open. Hi. All right, let's talk about gratitude. So what do I mean when I say gratitude? Well, gratitude is a state of appreciation. It's a state of thankfulness. But we've all experienced it. We all, if we search our memories to a time where we felt profoundly grateful, can really identify with gratitude as a feeling that starts in your heart, shines out through your face, expands to include the people and things around you. Gratitude is warm, it's not cold. Gratitude is expansive, it's not contracted. Gratitude is generous, it's not stingy. Gratitude is love, it's not fear. And so when we talk about practicing gratitude, what I really mean when I say that is not just to say thanks, not just to acknowledge when somebody's done something for you that you appreciate, but to really tap into that feeling, tap into that vibration and let it light up your whole being, because that is when you're going to get the most benefit out of it. And what are the benefits, right? Why should we even have a gratitude practice? Well, so many. Those of you that know me and have worked with me before know that I really value time, right? Because I don't have a lot of it. You don't have a lot of it. We're busy beings these days. And so I like to practice things that give me a lot of return for my energy and time investment. And this is one that's at the very, very top of the list, okay? Gratitude physiologically helps us to shift state. By focusing our intention and attention on feelings of gratitude, not only do we activate the part of our brain that's involved with motivation and compassion and empathy, but we increase serotonin, the feel-good hormone. We increase dopamine, the motivational hormone. We increase oxytocin, the bonding hormone, the hormone that gets released at the moment of birth so that mothers forget all of the pain of the delivery and only focus on the love of their babies. And the hormone that gets released again when they're nursing their child so that mother and child can bond. It is also the hormone that's released when we hug each other. And can you imagine what would happen if everyone around the world was engaging in a practice on a regular basis that released a hormone in their brain that made them feel bonded to their fellow man. In addition to shifting or to activating that part of your brain that is involved with motivation and compassion and actually changing your neurotransmitter and neurohormone levels, gratitude practice activates your parasympathetic nervous system. And again, those of you that have worked with me before know I talk a lot about the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system. Sympathetic is what's involved with fight, flight, fear, or freeze. It's when you're in survival mode. It's a very inflammatory state. It's very taxing on the body. Parasympathetic is when we relax. It's when we digest. It's when we heal. It's when we nourish the tissues in our bodies so that they can function the way that they're supposed to support our life and our being. A regular practice of gratitude also lowers inflammation. And we now know that inflammation is at the root of many of the chronic diseases that we experience, from diabetes to heart disease to high cholesterol to obesity to depression to anxiety and yes, even to cancer. So just by focusing our attention and intention on the feeling of gratitude on a regular basis, we create these real biophysiological changes in our body. And those changes result in real world benefits. So studies that have been done on people that have a regular gratitude practice show that they are happier and show that their happiness lasts longer than those who don't have a gratitude practice. They also show that they're more positive. And you say, well, you just said they were happy. Isn't that the same thing? No, it's not, right? The most negative person can experience happiness, but as soon as something happens that shifts them back into a negative state, they're going to lose that happiness, right? If you are happy and you're positive, you're going to be thinking about what good things are coming instead of what bad things are on their way. And that's going to maintain the sense of happiness longer, right? People that practice gratitude regularly sleep better, they have less pain, they have less risk of depression. And there was actually a very interesting study done, and I want to thank my dear colleague and sister in arms, Dr. Reshma Patel, for bringing this to my attention. There was a really interesting study done about the effect of emotions and the effect that food has on our bodies when we eat. And it showed that people that have positive emotions when they're eating release less inflammatory markers from their food, whereas people that are experiencing more negative emotions when they eat have higher levels of inflammation afterwards. This is independent of the type of food that they ate. So imagine if you went to all the trouble to make yourself a super organic, super fresh, farm to table, vegan salad when you really wanted to eat a burger, but you were in a bad mood when you ate it. Well, you're going to have higher levels of inflammation even though you ate a salad. And say you wanted to treat yourself, right? And you went off your diet a little bit and you got yourself an ice cream cone, but you really, really, really enjoyed that ice cream cone. Your inflammatory markers are not going to go up as high as they normally would from that ice cream cone because you were in a positive state when you ate it. So because all of us are eating all day long, well, hopefully not all day long. I mean, some of us are, it's quarantine, right? But because so many of us are eating all day long, just think about the impact that that can have on our lives. If you put yourself into a state of gratitude before you eat, it's not that your food choices don't matter. They certainly do. But you have the power to influence how positive the effect of the food that you eat is on you and how negative the effect of the food that you eat is on you. So, so, so powerful, right? Then there's what I like to call the ninja benefits of practicing gratitude. So in order to have a gratitude practice, you will be employing the skills of mindful awareness and attention. You will be practicing compassion and empathy. You will be practicing listening and recognizing. And these are many of the same skills that are developed when you practice meditation regularly. And I think all of you know how much I value meditation. I think it's a wonderful practice. It's hard though, right? It's a skill that has to be learned. I took years before I really felt joyful sitting down in a regular meditative practice. And that's probably one of the biggest things that I hear from my patients and clients. I've tried to meditate. I can't do it. I can't do it. It makes me crazy. I can't quiet my mind. It's just impossible for me. Okay, well, first of all, it's not, right? But if meditation is hard, try a gratitude practice. It's not the exact same thing, but you are going to get so many of the same benefits out of it, and it may be way easier for you to access. Okay, so I hope I've convinced you that it's worth your time to practice gratitude regularly. But again, let's acknowledge that there's a lot going on in the world right now that can be perceived as negative, right? There's a lot of conflict. There's a lot of turmoil. You could say many of our leaders are not operating from a place of moral integrity. It seems like people are more divided than ever. There's a lot of injustice that's in very plain sight. How, oh how, can we find something to be grateful for? I think the thing to understand is that when you look at any picture, there's going to be good things and bad things happening in that picture. It's not so much is the good there or is the bad there. It's what do you choose to focus on when you look, right? I'll give you an example of what I mean by this. So I was at a conference in the San Francisco Bay Area a year ago and decided that I needed to go walk in the woods. And so I went to a park and I was walking. And my intention was to be surrounded by nature and really experience the beauty, because I find that very healing. And I felt like I needed a little bit of healing. And so I was out there, I was in the woods, it was gorgeous, I was walking along, but I was not present. I was thinking about what needed to happen next. How much longer can I stay here? If I leave by this time, will I get to where I'm going in time? What do I need to do when I get there? Did I bring everything that I needed? And then I caught myself, right? I caught myself in that moment where I was not aware, right? Where I was not even opening myself up to experience the very purpose that I went to the woods for. And I said, no, bring yourself back into the present. Bring yourself back into the present. Look around and see what's around you. And as soon as I did, I kid you not, the clouds parted and a beam of sun shone right in front of me, lighting up these gorgeous yellow flowers that were on the side of the path. And I got to experience the gift of that beauty and that nature, which is why I had gone into the woods in the first place. And it was because I was paying attention, okay? Now, make no mistake, I'm not magic, right? I don't have a direct tie to the divine or the sun or anything like that. Those clouds would have parted and that sun would have shone through and those flowers would have been there whether I had been present to notice it or not, right? The beauty is there, but the gift was that I paid attention. I paid attention and I got the benefit out of it. There are gifts of beauty happening all around us, all of the time. If we cultivate the practice of looking for the thing to be grateful for, right? Looking for the beauty, looking for the act of kindness, looking for the generosity, looking for the opening where something good could come through in the future, we are going to see that it's happening all around us. And you're going to realize that you have an abundance of things to be grateful for all of the time. Okay, so you may be saying now, I believe it. I'm buying in. I want to do a gratitude practice, but I've never done it before. How do we get started? There are so many ways. There are so many ways, and please don't feel like you need to practice all of them. Again, gratitude is gratitude no matter how you access it. So I'm going to talk to you about 3 of my favorite ways, and then we're actually going to practice a 4th one together. Know that there are many, 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 many more out there, and just look for the one that speaks to you and try doing that on a regular basis. So the first way to practice gratitude that I'd like to share with you, I have a wonderful colleague of mine, Dr. Megan Morimoto, to thank for this. She shared this with me last week and I've been practicing it all week, but it's called Finding Your Bubbles of Bliss. And all that means is as you go throughout the day, look for those moments that you normally ignore, that if you really sunk into them and paid attention, would bring such joy and happiness. And tap into the joy of that experience and give thanks for it. For example, I get up in the morning, I come and I work out, I shower, I get ready, I make my cup of coffee, and I'm usually trying to just like get the caffeine in me as I'm getting ready to get out the door to go to work in the morning. But this week I tried to slow it down, right? I made the coffee, I got it ready, I brought the cup to my mouth. Before I took a drink, I inhaled and took a nice breath of that coffee smell. That coffee smell first thing in the morning, there's like nothing better than that. And I allowed myself to savor the aroma and give thanks for it. And then that first drink, when the coffee's still actually hot and it warms you going all of the way down, right? The coffee is something I was doing anyway. I just allowed myself to experience the bubble of bliss that was contained in it. And so for those of us that are busy, that are on the go, that don't feel like we have time to sit down on a cushion and have a dedicated time space to give thanks, bubbles of bliss is an amazing practice because you just find the moments throughout the day that contain the experiences that you get to enjoy and then give gratitude for. The second way that I love to practice gratitude, and I've actually been doing this for a long time, is at the end of the day to look at myself in the mirror and tell myself 3 things that I am thankful to myself for having done that day. It's a wonderful way to express gratitude, but it's also a wonderful way to express self-love and self-worth and to celebrate the little accomplishments and the big accomplishments that too often we don't even notice, we forget about because we're so busy. So for example, today I might say, Jenny, thank you for waking up early, even though you were tired, and coming and doing a good workout because it gave you energy, it worked out the aches and pains in your body, it made your body strong, it fed your tissues more oxygen, and it helped you be more patient and loving with your family during the day. Something that I do every day, easy to forget to celebrate the moment, right? But if you get in the habit of thanking yourself at the end of the day, you're going to see how much you really accomplished that's wonderful, that's worth celebrating. And it really does allow you to sink into your value as a person and that sense of self-love. Wonderful for people who are down on themselves, right? That's a great one for you if you have a lot of negative self-talk in your head, the I'm not worth it, I'm an imposter, I never finish what I start, right? Who am I to think that I can help in this way? Who am I to think that I can do this job? No. Try doing the thanking yourself in the mirror at the end of the day. I think you will really love it. And the third one that I'd like to talk about goes back to the way that gratitude affects how our food affects us, right? Like we said, if you are happy when you're eating, you're not going to have as much inflammation after you eat. And if you are not happy when you're eating, you're going to have a lot of inflammation after you eat. So why not have a practice of gratitude around food, right? And that could be like a bubble of bliss moment where you really take the time to enjoy the food, inhale the aroma before you eat, really give gratitude for the wonderful scent and smell of the food, savor the feeling and the texture of the food and the flavor in your mouth and give thanks for that. Feel the warmth and the nourishment as it goes down and give gratitude for that. Or go back to what so many people have been doing since the dawn of time, which is giving thanks or saying grace for the food before you eat it, right? Expressing and experience gratitude for all the work and all the hands that took part in bringing that food, that source of nourishment up out of the earth and getting it to you. Now, let's talk about the one that we're actually going to do together because I'm feeling a little stiff and it's time to move. So everybody get up, okay? Take a moment. If you've got a chair next to you, go ahead and get up. Push it away. You need about this much space around you, okay? So you know me, we're probably going to do some Qigong, we're probably going to do some tapping, we're probably going to do some breathing, okay? We're going to start always by getting the energy really flowing because that's when you're going to get the most out of your physical practice. So we're going to tap, and for those of you that haven't joined me for this before, you take the palm of one hand and you use it to tap along the opposite arm of your body. So we're going down the inside of the arm and up the outside of the arm. Good. And now we're going to go and get the shoulder, get the chest, and down the sideways. Good. And now let's go to the other side, down the inside of the arm and up the outside. And get the back of the shoulder, the chest, and down the sideways. Now get the belly. And then we're going to go around to the back and get the kidneys with the back of your palms. And when you're done, go ahead with the back of one palm and rub it over the spine back and forth in between those kidney points. And we're going to come down and we're going to tap the butt, the bunda here, right at the side. It's about 1/3 of the way from the highest point of your hip to the sacrum, right in there. That's an awesome spot for loosening up your lower back. It's an awesome spot for relieving sciatic type pains. And then we're going to come around to the front, getting the hips. Good. And now we're going to get the legs, okay? So for this, you can balance on one leg, you can bend down, you can prop your foot up on a chair. And because I always hate to risk falling down in front of you guys, I'm going to get a chair. All right, so we're going to again go down the front of the leg, up the back of the leg, down the side of the leg, and then up the front, down the back, up the sides. Okay, here we go. Open palms all the way down. Be sure to get your ankles coming up and back down. And then come up the front. Good. Down the back and up the sides. Awesome. Other leg now. Down the front, up the back, down the sides. Up the front, down the back, up the sides. Good. And you can kick that chair away. I always like to get the back and the butt a little bit more because it tends to get stiff because we spend so much time sitting these days, right? All right. Now check in. I feel sort of a buzzing around my body, like a little energy jacket, right? If you feel differently than you did before you did that practice, take a minute, notice how you feel, and give appreciation for that. Give thanks, okay? Now, let's bring our hands in front of our lower dantian, the energy center that sits in between your belly button and your pelvis. And we're going to practice breathing again. So take a nice deep breath in through your nose, down, expanding your lungs all the way into the belly, pushing the belly out, and then using the belly to push the breath up, up out of the lungs, up through the throat, out of the mouth, all the way out. Another deep breath in and out. In through the nose and out through the mouth. And as you continue to breathe, allow yourself to feel gratitude for the air that you're breathing, for the lungs that do the work of absorbing the oxygen from your air and putting carbon dioxide into the breath that goes out. Breathing in the oxygen that we cannot live without. Breathing out the carbon dioxide that we cannot live with, but that the trees and plants around us cannot live without. Giving thanks for this breath, delivering the oxygen into our cells, into our bloodstream. Noticing the feel of the ribs and the muscles of the back and the waist as the belly expands and the chest rises and falls. As you continue to allow your belly to expand out with the inhale and push in with the exhale, notice that this way of breathing is also giving you a very nice massage to these muscles. And allow yourself to experience the gratitude for that. Wonderful. Okay, If you've closed your eyes, allow them to open. We're going to stand with our feet together in Wu Ji, arms at neutral or palms turned out to face the universe. We're going to put all of our weight into one leg, and we're going to step out slightly wider than shoulder width distance apart. Coming to rest with your feet turned slightly outwards, knees bent gently, going out over the feet. And we're going to do a move. Those of you that have been doing this with me every week will recognize it. This is from the 8 brocades. It's the first movement there. And what we're going to do is we're going to breathe in as our palms turning up come together and lift up. And we're going to come up onto our tiptoes as our hands stretch all the way up into the air. And we're going to push out through our arms as we exhale, coming down. Good. Let's inhale up. And exhale out. And just notice how good it feels to stretch these muscles. Inhaling up. Exhaling out. Giving thanks for the ability of our muscles to stretch out aches and pains and kinks, to push the lactic acid out of them as we squeeze. Giving thanks for our body's ability to wash that lactic acid away, renewing, detoxifying, and bathing our muscles. Giving thanks for the respiratory capacity you've been building as we've done these exercises together over the weeks. Giving thanks for the balance you've been cultivating as we've done these exercises together over the weeks. Let's do one more. Inhale, coming up. Up, 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 all the way onto the balls of your feet. Stretch up and push out as you exhale and come down. And hands come to rest again in front of the lower dantian. And take a breath. Allow yourself to settle into this feeling and this position. Notice anything that feels positive, open, expansive about it. And allow gratitude to well up in your heart center in exchange for this. We're going to do one more Qigong move. So you're going to bring your feet a little bit wider, so out about to here into what's called a horse stance. And I believe we've done this move together before. It was a while ago, okay? But this one is called Unifying Heaven and Earth. And it's wonderful for the feeling of integration, of the whole, of we all belong together, we all need each other, everything is interdependent. And it's also, I think, wonderful to open up your heart center as well as your lower and upper dantians and really get them spinning. So to do this, what we're going to do is start by exhaling as we bring our arms out, and we're going to reach down as we scoop up earth chi, and we're going to bring it up the front, inhaling, and into our heart center. And then we're going to exhale as we give that chi out to the world. Inhale, rising up to shape that energy in a protective bubble. Exhale, coming down. Inhaling, serving that energy up to the heavens. Scooping up heavenly chi, and exhale, bring it down the midline. When you get to the level of the lower ribs, you're going to reach out again and scoop up earth chi. Inhale, bringing it up and in to shape it from heart center. Exhale, giving it out to the world. Inhale, exhale as you wrap it in a bubble. Inhale, serving it up to the heavens, scooping up heavenly chi and coming down. And so from the side, okay, we're reaching out, scooping up earth chi, bringing it up the front and into heart center, shaping it from our hearts before we give that energy out to the world. And wrapping it in a protective bubble, serving it up, scooping up heavenly chi and coming down. Let's do that a couple more times. Inhale, shape it from heart center, give it to the world. Wrap it in an energy bubble, serve it up, grab heavenly chi, bring it down, exhaling. Scoop up the earth chi, bring it up to heart center, shape it from your heart, give it to the world. Wrap it in a bubble, serve it up, grab the sky chi, exhale, bringing it down as your feet come back to just slightly wider than shoulder width distance apart. Hands come to rest in front of the lower dantian. And allow yourself to feel the joy of the energy coursing through your body, of the breath filling your lungs, filling your belly, breathing you. The joy of being here together, doing this in communion with each other. And allow your hands to feel any sensation of energy or push or pull between the palms of your hand and your lower dantian. And feel gratitude for this energy center, for your connection to self, to the physical body, to the earth, to identity, to ego and all of the positive aspects of ego. And when you feel ready, we're going to inhale, bringing our arms up to the middle dantian, to heart center. And again, tap in and allow yourself to feel any sensation between the palms of your hands and your middle dantian, your heart center. Allow the energy to pour into heart center from the palms of your hands, filling it up. Feel it warm and expansive, getting ever bigger, expanding ever outward as you breathe in love and breathe out love. Breathe in gratitude and breathe out gratitude. Breathe in compassion and breathe out compassion. Breathe in healing of the highest order and breathe out healing presence. And allow yourself to enjoy the wonderful feeling of expansion, of warmth, of love that this brings. Allow yourself to notice your body, giving thanks for your strong legs that are keeping you up, your strong lungs that are breathing you, your strong arms that are still up in front of your middle dantian, even though it's been a long time, I know. Focus on the energy, focus on the intention, and allow the arms to be lifted by the chi. And when you feel ready, inhale, let your arms come up further. So I'm like this, okay? Now they're in front of the upper dantian. And as you inhale, you can allow any energy that you feel to pulse the hands in and out. Giving thanks for clarity, for wisdom, for connection to a higher source, higher power, connection to your fellow man, to the earth, to nature, animals, the elements, connection to all that is. And allow white golden light to pour out of your palms, down over your head, over your body, showering you, bathing you in that white golden light. And when you feel ready, you can allow the palms to float down, bathing you with that white golden light as they descend back down, coming to rest in front of the lower dantian. And allow gratitude to bubble up within you. Whatever comes to the surface, experience it, let it light you up. Let it fill you to overflowing so that that extra energy pours out into the world. Whatever it is, gratitude is never wrong. I'm thankful for my strong body. I'm thankful for my commitments and my dedications to nurturing my body and making it stronger. I'm thankful for my lungs that breathe, my heart that pumps the blood through my body. I'm thankful for my muscles that hold me upright. I'm thankful that movement feels so good and that I have the ability to move whenever I choose. I'm thankful for energy and the ability to play with my own energy, move it through me, guiding it, allowing it to heal and restore my body to its proper optimal function. I'm grateful for this air that I breathe, this earth that I stand on. I'm grateful for the path that's allowed me to learn these things in life. And I'm grateful for all of you that allow me to share what I've learned. I'm so grateful for my family, my children that made the world magical and new again, that gave me something else to worry about besides my own health and whether or not I was going to get cancer again and die. I'm so grateful to my wife, without whom I wouldn't do anything ever. She makes things possible. I'm so grateful to my teachers, my guides, my senseis that have helped move me along this path. I'm grateful to our earth that is always trying to heal itself. I'm grateful to my fellow man, who I truly believe are good at heart and are all trying to do the best they can. I'm so grateful to my patients for allowing me to be a part of their lives, trusting me to help them heal, to help them grow and be strong and increase their capacity so that they can pursue their own purposes and make a difference in the world. I'm grateful for this day. I'm grateful for this life. Feel free to share whatever you're grateful for in the chat, or write it down, or give it to the universe. When you're ready, shift your weight into this leg. Take a deep breath in, bringing your arms up overhead as your feet come together. Let your hands come down the midline and out, coming to rest in Wuji. So that was actually a combination of a lot of practices, right? There was a lot to be grateful for. What I intended to show you when I set out was the gratitude for your body and for movement and how good movement feels. I'm so grateful that we have the option of coming down into the body to get out of our minds, to get out of our heads, right? Our minds that are just thinking, making up realities that don't exist yet, versus our bodies that are perceiving and being. and giving us information about the true nature of reality so that we can make skilled decisions, take skilled action, have clarity, have that gut instinct that we all know is what helps us make the best decisions in life, right? But that is it for today. I hope that you enjoyed this gratitude practice. I also want to give the deepest thanks to my dear friend and colleague and sister-in-arms, Dr. Reshma Patel. She gave a wonderful presentation on gratitude practice in the Happy Life Summit on Facebook a week or two ago, and was the inspiration for me doing this talk. This was just a slice of what she did. So if you want to learn more about gratitude, all of the benefits of it, and some more wonderful ways to practice, check out her talk. I'm going to put the link to it below. And if you are in the Tampa Bay area and are in the need for an amazing, loving, compassionate, wonderful physician, go and check out her website, reshmapatelmd.com. I love you, girl. I'll talk to you tonight on our meditation. Okay, everyone. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful week. Again, thank you all so much for joining me. I am grateful for you. Until next time, have a wonderful life and be well.